Today we're going to talk about the Java API, specifically the API for the Standard Edition 7, which is the most current edition of Java today. Now, API stands for Application Programming Interface, and an interface is a way for software components to talk with each other. The Java API is very, very rich. The Java API provides to us packages and classes that give us capabilities, methods to do things so that we can develop our programs very, very quickly using methods that have been tried, developed, secure, easy to use. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you want to do something. There's an awful lot of tools, not every one you might ever need, but it's so many of them. The Java API is very, very rich, very, very just a great thing to have, a great resource for us to have, and I encourage you to get familiar with it, to use the classes, use the packages of this API. Now, to get to the documentation for the API, we'll go to http://docs, that's docs.oracle.com/JavaSE, that's JAVASE, /7, the number, /docs, DOCS, /API, as in Application Programming Interface, /. Now, what we're presented with is this website that gives us an awful lot of hyperlinks that will take us to the various components that we find within the API. Now, over on the left-hand side, right over here, we'll see navigation, this top left, for the packages that are a part of this API. Now, a package is just an association of classes. They're not physically associated. They're just declared to be within the same package, so when we import that package, we get all the associated classes. And you'll see we can navigate through all the packages of this language, and there are an awful lot of them. Over on the left-hand side, here toward the bottom, we see all of the classes of this language, and we have an awful lot of them. I'm scrolling through them. So these are all the classes. Here are all the packages. These classes are all within one or more of these packages. Okay, so over here on the right-hand side, we see navigation as we come to this, the home page of the API, navigation to the packages. So I can navigate to packages here on the left or here on the right. We've used some of these packages already, specifically the java.util, a very, very popular package to import. If we click on that link, java.util, we'll see that we're presented with the information about that package, the interface, and the class summary. These are all the classes that come with that package. One that has been used quite a bit for us is the scanner class, and we can come down here and click on this, the link to the scanner class, and we see now we have the methods that are associated with this class. The methods, the instance variables, description of the class. We note that here this class is part of the java.util package. And so we'll scroll down, look at the constructor summary. This is documentation all provided to you in the API. And here's the methods. Now remember, in this, the scanner class, we've got methods that are non-static. They have to be called by an instance of the class. And notice that these are non-static. We see that their modifiers and types are just very simply one word. So here we have return to us this, all of these components, these things. And here, whoops, sorry, scrolling too quickly. Here are the methods themselves. So if I were to look at the method, let's see, hasNext of this class, click on the link and provided with the documentation about that method. So here we see that this method hasNext is public, returns a Boolean. Its name is hasNext, expects no arguments. Here's a little bit of description about it, how it's specified, what it returns, any exceptions that it might throws, and if there's something that we should look at when we look at it, we see a link for see also. Now, every method within every class has this documentation. This is the documentation that we just looked at, was for a method within the scanner class that comes with this package, java.util. If I just wanted to look at the classes within a specific package, as in the classes for the java.util package, I just click up here in the upper left-hand side, java.util, and notice that here I just have the classes, the interfaces specific to that package. If I want to look at all classes, click here, and I'm back to all of the classes. Now, I can go to a class through its package. I can go to a class specifically just going straight to that class. Over here, bottom left-hand side, let's look at a class, and let's pick the math class. The math class is way down here. So you'll see how many classes there are. I'm scrolling, and I'm only up to the classes that begin with the letter C. I'm going to go all the way down here to the math class. As I look at the math class, way down here, it takes me a while to get to it, I'll see the methods that I have associated with it, not associated, but within it. Okay? So within the math class, and I'll find the math class, let's see, I'm close, I'm right here. I click on that link and I'm provided here on the right hand side with the documentation for the math class. Its fields, that's the instance variables, and the math class has two instance variables. They are both constants, e and pi. If I click on that link for the field, I'll see here e is public, static, final. It returns back a double. The name of the instance variable is in fact e, and I have the same with pi, public, static, final. Returns back a double. This is the value of pi. Those are the instance variables that are associated with this, or that are within this class. I also have methods, and we'll see all of these methods. Now you'll note that the methods of this class, the math class, are static, and so they're called very easily just using the name of the class, math, dot, name of the method. So I would call this method abs with math.abs. So let's click on the hyperlink for its documentation. We'll see that the method abs returns back a double. It's public, it's static, and it expects a double to be passed to it. It'll refer to that double as a within the method. And there are some special cases, and those are listed here in the documentation. And so for this method, I have a pretty full description of the method. I can now use this method. I'm told how to call it, what it returns, all of that. Now this API, the API for the Java programming language, is very, very rich. It has an awful lot of resources for you. I've just given you a quick navigation here, lesson in navigation, for the page. I encourage you to visit the API for the Java language and get familiar with it. Just poke around, look at the classes, look at the packages, look at the methods, and see what they can do for you. These are all tools that you can use, tried and true tools that have been developed and examined over the years. They work well. They allow you to not have to reinvent the wheel. If you want to do something, look for the tool, use it, and move on. This Java API is a very, very rich resource for you. I encourage you to become very, very familiar with it. Thank you very much.